Good day, dear viewers. Today is October 18th, 2023, and here before you sits a Harris Visible No.4 desktop typewriter. I acquired this typewriter not too long ago, but it's been some time since my last upload. In fact, I've obtained quite a few key pieces that I'd like to cover in the upcoming weeks and months, so stay tuned. But in regards to our subject today, I found this machine for a very reasonable asking price. The Harris Visible No.4, or Harris in general, is not a common typewriter to find. In fact, it's pushing on the boundaries of being rare, especially in Western Canada, where this one is. The reason I wanted this one in particularly is because it is in very nice mechanical and cosmetic shape. It appears to be complete, shy of the rubber on the paper fingers on the platen, which crumbled in my hands, and the feet. These are very beautiful typewriters. They have beautiful decorations, excellent decals, and are all in all a key piece to have in a collection, I find. Mainly because of their interesting history and mechanics. The Harris Visible No.4 was essentially a typewriter intended to compete with the cost and price of typewriters of its time, namely with big names, with Underwood, Smith Corona, well, L.C. Smith in those days, Remington, Royal. In order to cut costs, they cut a few functions that the majority of those machines would come with. And its design is rather utilitarian, but it works. Of course, one of the most notable features on this machine, is the fact that it only has 3 rows of keys, and it has a dual shift mechanism, which is operated by a bell crank system. And instead of a shift lock, this machine is equipped with a shift release. And how that works is that over here you have a shift release key. When this is suppressed and you pull the toggle towards you, the dual shift acts normally. And when the key is released, as such, this side of the shift mechanism operates as before, but this side will lock in place, and you have to hit the key in order to release the shift mechanism. So instead of a shift lock, it has a shift release. Essentially the same function, just opposite. This blue key here is the backspace. You'll find the tabulator on the faceplate, and underneath there the margin release. This toggle here in the center is the ribbon direction switch. It's rather simple. It is mounted on the back of the faceplate, and it has 2 U-clasps that hook onto a rod that runs from side to side, which toggle the mesh gears that this ribbon drive has. Instead of direct gears, it has slanted mesh gears, and it's quite remarkable how much that improves the ribbon advance. It's less clunky, it's a very smooth action, and much more silent when you advance the ribbon, as you can hear. I find this a very pleasant typewriter to type on, even despite the fact that the platen is hard as a rock. And because of that, it is quite loud. But I intend to put this on my desk. It actually sits here on the typewriter tray, because I will use this as my go-to machine. The typeface is a bit dirty now that I've used it, but it is in beautiful shape. Very crisp type. The machine feeds a regular 1/2-inch ribbon. Here on the back, you'll find a mere statement that patents are pending. The machine is covered in these very tasteful decorations, not over the top. I find these very appealing. I have 3 of the tab stobs over there. The carriage comes off with 4 screws. It's as simple as an Underwood. There are no ball bearings. This is a roller bearing mechanism. Here on the back is an owner-operated spring tension control. So the main spring, the drum spring that pulls the carriage, it sits behind here, and this butterfly key, so this butterfly screw operates the main gear that sits on the side of the spring, allowing you to tighten it, and then this toggle here on the side allows you to loosen it. Here you have your margins. Now, the typewriter appears to have been home serviced. It's when I went through it, I found quite a few stripped screws and some other tool marks that tell me it was not taken to a mechanic on a frequent basis. But what is a very interesting and fun detail on this machine is that at some point, for an unknown reason, the platen knob rubber on this machine was replaced with toy car tires. And as you can see, if I roll this over, you see Goodrich written on the side. I really like that feature. The original spool covers are still there. I did have the original cores, but they fell apart in my hand. The cores that you clip the ribbon on. They were made out of wood and they were so cracked they turned into bits, so they were of no use. Cleaning the machine out, I found an interesting piece. I was going through it and I found the shift mechanism was jammed because of a chromed piece of metal, and I could not figure out what this was. It looked like it was fit for the machine, and it turned out to be the original paper guide. This was wedged in the mechanism. Comes off fairly easily. And so far, I seem to have the only Harris Visible that still has that paper guide. In fact, the original advertisements don't even reflect it. So I wonder if that was an addition, a custom option. Now this is a thumb-operated right-hand carriage return lever over here, which works well. It's definitely user-friendly. Simultaneously with this machine, I obtained a Orga Privet made in Germany by the Bing-Werke company, and that has it as well, but the design is not nearly as effective and useful as this one is. The platen is very easily removed. You undo this screw. Well, essentially you back it off and you tilt this back, and this bar comes up, and the same on this side, and you lift the platen out. Very easily done. Over here you'll find your carriage release. This is your paper release. And the chrome on this side polished up very nicely. And on this side it's a little bit tarnished, but not bad. It appears the typewriter sat on the desk with the window on one side for many years because the UV rays did a bit of damage to the clear coat and orange peeled it. I'm not sure how visible that is in this video, but it's there, and the pinstriping is darkened, unlike the other side where it's still very prominent. The escapement was absolutely seized, and when it became unseized, it squealed so loudly I actually went and used axle grease on the star wheel shaft to quiet it down, and it actually smoothed over the mechanism quite a bit. The escapement is very silent. The carriage is a little heavier, I presume, because of the grease, but yeah, it seemed to have done the trick. Definitely no complaints there. Nice little detail is, of course, one of the owners has their name labeled on the front. Overall, it is a very, very attractive machine. I have to find feet for it, and it needs new paper finger rollers, such as these, but that should be easily done. Usually I use heat shrink tubing for those. And then a quick peek underneath. I have to say, this was the most nicotine-stained typewriter I've ever laid hands on. And I went through half a can of acetone to get it off because it would not untarnish. I'm trying to show you a bit of the inner workings here. There you see the bell catch. There, that's the shift adjustment. Well, bearing tightness actually. Right there you have the ratchet release. Actually, this is the ratchet release. Right down there is the line space adjuster. Anyways, there you have an inside of the Harris Visible No.4. I will do a typing sample of this machine and it will be uploaded shortly as well. So please stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and keep a lookout for more videos. Take care now.